The streak of embarrassing failure continues at CNN. I am officially convinced nothing can save the network at this point. Remember last year when former CNN president Chris Licht, better known to his colleagues as Chris the Bongo Licker, remember when he was begging someone, anyone, to come in and save this dump? He tried to break the bank for Bill Maher. Bill Maher said, "I'm not interested in your woke welfare." Out of the kindness of his heart, Billy, he gave CNN some leftover scraps of his HBO show, and it resulted in failure. After he destroyed The Daily Show and renaming it The Daily Show a failure, the Bongo Licker, he reached out to Travis Noah. This strategy was rather curious. If your primary goal is to draw ratings, why would you be looking to hire a proven ratings failure? Jon Stewart, he handed Travis The Golden Goose, a show on Comedy Central where there's really no expectations to draw ratings. Jon Stew handed Travis an audience between 1 and 2 million nightly viewers. Within a few years, Travis Noah, he had that number down to a cool 300,000. Chris Licht, he reaches out to Travis, asking if he would come to CNN to emulate his failure at Comedy Central and finish sinking the Titanic. Travis said, "Thanks, but no thanks. I only work at polished turds like Comedy Central. CNN is a steaming turd." CNN tried to boost ratings with Charles Barkley and Oprah's jealous bestie who's filled with bitterness every time Oprah hangs out with Steedle or Steckman. You know the guy I'm talking about, the doofus who's always standing around in the background. Charlie and Gelly, failure. At one point, CNN was so desperate, they thought moving Caitlin Collins, Katie Roo! They thought moving Roo from mornings to primetime would boost their primetime lineup. Again, this was another curious strategy. Katie Roo Collins, she was a huge embarrassing failure on morning television. If she is setting near record lows in the morning, why in the hell would you think she would reach the pinnacle of success in prime time? Obviously, we all know how that's working out. Failure. But that's okay. That's okay. All of these other strategies may have ended in embarrassing failure, but CNN, they came up with a brilliant plan to save their primetime dump. They reached out to the one man who represents a lifetime of success. They reached out to the one man who is guaranteed to draw millions of viewers anytime he appears on the network. Over the last couple of years, he has been the only star that's capable of putting multiple commas in CNN's rating figure. Normally, CNN's audience is measured by the dozens, but when this man appears on the network, he has them competing with MSNBC and Fox News instead of competing with News Nation, home of Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Well, KC, you're obviously talking about Donald Trump. Or you're bad. Donald Trump? The Trumper? The man I described has achieved a lifetime of success. Does that sound like the Trumper to you? Sure, he might be a billionaire, but that doesn't mean he's successful. He hasn't spent the last 50 years in Washington, D.C. dedicating his life to serving his country. Even though it was only for one night, CNN reached out to our fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden, to rescue their primetime dump. The other day, we talked about Erin Burnett from CNN interviewing John Biden. This 17-minute interview, it was an unmitigated disaster for Johnny B. Biden. We'll get into that more here in just a second. But it was also another in a long line of huge embarrassing failures for CNN. Normally, when one of the networks sit down with a president, it gives them a temporary spike in the ratings. Back in February, Laura Ingraham hosted a town hall that featured Donald Trump. Most days, The Five is the most watched program in cable news, followed by Sean Hannity, Jesse Waters, with Laura Ingraham riding the Bruce caboose. Now, she still dominates everything on MSNBC and CNN, but Laura Ingraham, she is usually the least watched program in primetime at Fox News. Earlier this week, she drew 2.1 million viewers. When she hosted the town hall with Trump in February, Laura Ingraham drew 3.2 million. She was the most watched show on cable. That is the kind of impact that Donald Trump had on her ratings. Laura Ingraham went from riding the Bruce Caboose to the most watched show on cable. Last Thursday, Erin Burnett, she drew 841,000 viewers. This past Tuesday, the day before her big interview with John Biden, Erin B, 781,000. Her typical average falls between those two numbers. Since she landed an interview with the biggest star in the country, the man who oozes charisma, the man who entertains millions by simply falling off of his tricycle, since Erin B landed an interview with Johnny B, she should see a drastic increase in ratings, right? If you had to guess, how many viewers do you think Erin and Johnny B pulled on Wednesday night? Well, KC, I think John Biden had a huge impact on ratings. If Trump pulled 3.2 million with Laura Ingraham, I know John Biden had at least 3.21 million. Yeah, you're not even close. Now, maybe some will say that we are setting the expectations for John Biden too high. I mean, this is CNN we're talking about. Fox News already has an established platform while CNN has an established turd. However, last year, Trump participated in a town hall on CNN with Katie Rue Collins, drew 3.3 million viewers. So, we didn't set these expectations, Trump did. Trump wasn't even the president last year when he did that town hall with the Rue. He was a civilian. With Johnny B occupying the White House, with Johnny B pretending to be the most powerful man in the free world, he should outperform a civilian from the orange race, right? CNN's big interview with John Biden, 786,000 viewers. Translation: Johnny B had zero impact on their ratings. None. CNN, they could have aired a rerun and drawn the same number. They could have aired Andy Cooper and Jake the Bongo Tapper making it rain at Club Shay Shay, drawn the same number. I don't know if this is an indictment on the lack of drawing power on CNN or John Biden, or probably both. The message is abundantly clear. America does not watch CNN, and Americans, they damn sure don't want to watch John Biden. The other day, I gave credit to Erin Burnett for her willingness to ask John Biden tough questions. Basically, I gave her credit for doing her job. If Don Lemon was doing this same interview, he would focus on the important issues. Mr. President, dozens of Americans want to know, do you support gender-neutral restrooms? Should grown men be allowed to use the women's restroom? Hey there, Donnie, it's me, Joey. I support gender-neutral restrooms. What if a man is menstruating? He might need to lie down and they don't have couches in the men's room. Instead of focusing on genderless toilets, Erin Burnett, she pressed Johnny on issues that actually matter. And the end result was disastrous for John Biden. The New York Post, they fact-checked Johnny's answers. His interview with Erin Burnett lasted 17 minutes. During that short amount of time, John Biden, he averaged one lie per minute. Basically, this dude lies by default. John Biden claimed that other than the vacuum guy, I think his name was Herb Hoover, other than him, that white supremacist Donald Trump is the only president to lose more jobs than he created. Yeah, this is a blatant lie. Donald Trump didn't lose all those jobs in 2020. Aunt Fauci did. Johnny B also claimed that he has created 15 million jobs in the last 3 years. Again, another lie. John Biden, he has been a politician for over 50 years now? He has not created a single job. Not only has Johnny never created a job, I don't think he's had a real job throughout his adult life. With his inability to construct complete sentences, I don't know if John Biden could even spell the word job. He probably pronounces it Job and thinks you're referring to the dude in the Bible. Johnny claimed that American billionaires pay just over 8% in federal taxes. It's time for the evil rich billionaires to pay their fair share. Hope and change. Yes, 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 we can. Tax the wealthy out of this country. For starters, Johnny clearly doesn't understand how job creation works, which is fine. That's fine. He's never had to submit a resume, so I don't expect him to understand how it works. Let me ask you something, though. How many job opportunities have you been given from someone who was broke? How many starving artists have been willing to pay you to sharpen their pencils? My guess is none. The reason wealthy people are given tax breaks, they are the ones creating all the jobs. Either way, though, it doesn't matter because, once again, John Biden failing to tell the truth. Top earners in this country, they pay 25% between income and payroll taxes. Now, according to John Biden, inflation, it was 9% when he took office in January of 2021. I don't think I need to tell you that that is complete bullshit. The truth is, inflation was 1.4% in January of 2021. Average gas price back then, $2.42 a gallon. 5 months later, under the excellent leadership of John Biden, gas in May of 2021, $3.08 a gallon. Today, gas is around $3.50 a gallon where I live. In the People's Republic of California, I would not be surprised if gas was over $5 a gallon. Like I said, John Biden averaged one lie per minute during his interview with CNN. If Donald Trump did the exact same thing, it would be headline news throughout the mainstream media. Hell, CNN, they have some doofus on staff. His only job is to fact check Donald Trump. That's all he does. He watches the Trumper 24 hours a day looking for lies, or what CNN calls misinformation. Now, if Trump lied once in 17 minutes, it would be the leading story throughout the mainstream media. When John Biden averages one lie per minute, it is complete silence. There has not been a single word from the fact-checking doofus at CNN, and this interview, it aired on his own network. And they wonder why trust in the mainstream media is at an all-time low. They wonder why trust in the mainstream media basically is non-existent. But give me your thoughts on this. CNN, they attempt to boost ratings by interviewing John Biden, and he has absolutely no impact. It was another in a long line of huge embarrassing failures for both Johnny B. Biden and CNN. Now, according to the New York Post, Johnny averaged one lie per minute during this interview. Why is this not the leading story throughout the media? Why is the media seemingly covering up for a president who seems to be incapable of telling the truth? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.